All righty. Welcome, welcome, welcome. It is Wednesday night roundtable, and this is from the Couch Sports Talk Radio. And I am joined tonight by David. How are you doing, sir?
Hey, what's happening, Shawnee? What's going on, brother?
Nothing much, brother. Nothing much. Shawnee, I haven't heard that since high school.
I know, see?
Or later then, actually.
See, so. I'm trying to bring you back to your youth. I mean, I know it's hard.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna start calling you John Stewart. It's just easier. You look just like him. I mean, what the hell?
Yeah, I wish I had his money, but
yeah. Oh well, I can be Stephen Colbert, and then that way, whenever you want, you can just cancel me.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah, see, like I'll be Stephen Colbert, and then you go, oh, it's May 26th. And Stephen Colbert is gone. So there you go.
Oh, dear Lord, man.
I'm just messing with you.
You're a terrible person, David.
No, anyway. I'm a good person.
Yeah,
Terrible comedian.
Remember, if you believe it, it's not a lie.
That's right. That's good. See?
All right. There really hasn't been that much news.
Well, there is, man. Training camp started. Everybody's at training camp. You got the Cincinnati Bengals who are dealing with Trey Hendrickson being out in a contract dispute, and their first-round draft pick, Shamar Stewart, he's out. They haven't signed him yet. So
Will Levis has a season-ending injury.
Yeah, and so again, you got your dysfunctional Bengals. Okay, a team offensively that has all the pieces, and they can't seem to get their defense right, and that's going to hold them back. And until that franchise realizes, the dysfunction, and so on and so forth, you have the opportunity with that offense if you could get your defense right. You could go places, but again, Mike Brown and the cheap Cincinnati Bengals are making it harder and harder for that team to get off the ground. So it's a shame for the fans of Cincinnati because offensively, they're probably one of the best teams in the league from a wide receiver standpoint, quarterback, running back. Offensive line obviously has something to be desired, but again, Joe Burrow's had to deal with that line for what now? 4 years now, 4 or 5 years, and he seemed to do pretty decent with the bad offensive line. So we'll see what happens.
Yeah, very true. The Bengals have been one of those teams just like, oh God, another team, great offense, zero defense. And maybe at some point they're going to address it. But with the way they're spending money on offense, I don't think they can.
Yeah.
Will Levis is going to have surgery on his throwing shoulder. He's out, which gives Cam Ward the go ahead, and so he's going to start this year, which I kind of thought was going to happen anyway. I didn't.
Yeah. Again, I think that was something that was convenient. Number one, because Cam Ward was going to be the starter. So it takes that distraction of Will Levis out. Not that it was a real distraction. I think the writing was on the wall when they drafted Cam Ward. But, I think the one thing for Will Levis is this year it allows him to get his shoulders operated on, gives him a chance to heal up all year. And when they decide to move on from him, it'll give him the opportunity to find a team that's willing to take a chance on him, a team that could be searching for that bridge quarterback or so on and so forth between a rookie or whatnot, and see what happens. It's just unfortunate, but could be a blessing for Will Levis in the long run.
Sure. Yeah, absolutely. And I just have a feeling the Jets are going to probably fucking pick him up because that's what Jets do.
Yeah.
And then
go ahead.
Go ahead.
No, go ahead. What were you going to say?
I didn't read the article as I was too busy today at work, but I've read something about a Pittsburgh Steeler. Was it Minka Fitzpatrick that's going because he's going back to?
He went back to Miami.
Yeah, and I don't think he was very happy about it.
I don't know. I don't think so. Again, and it's really kind of ironic and sad for Miami because today Artie Burns, the cornerback, he feared that he tore his ACL. They got rid of Jalen Ramsey. So now you got a lot of youth in that secondary. They do have Rasul Douglas and Asante Samuel Jr., who are still free agents that they could sign to bring in. But, it's like that's just the way the NFL works. You end up, trading away somebody thinking that you might have the answer or you have the youth. And first day of training camp, your starting cornerback goes down, and now you are devoid of that depth and that talent. And now you're scrambling. Thank God it was the first day of training camp, not the first day of the regular season. So they do have time to get it right. But, again, it's a shame for Artie Burns. Minka Fitzpatrick, I'm sure he's not the happiest guy. But again, I look at it from the standpoint that, I don't know what's worse. I mean, do you play on a team that just makes the playoffs to go out in the first round, or do you play on a team that underachieves and can't play under 60-degree weather? It's just one of the business part of the NFL, and some people get stuck in that business. And unfortunately, players can't control where they go, and so they're just kind of stuck where they're stuck. And at the end of the day, as long as he's getting his money, I don't know why he should be complaining too much.
Okay. Here's a question for you, David.
Mm-hmm.
Hard Knocks.
Yeah, no, it's going to be interesting. I think the one thing that I like about Hard Knocks, from a standpoint of being a Bills fan, because as a Bills fan, and the fact that this is the Bills' first time in the however many seasons of Hard Knocks that they're actually going to be on it. So from a fan's perspective, to get that behind the scenes look at what really goes on or what can really go on at one Bills drive behind the scenes, it's going to be interesting. I don't think it'll be as much of a distraction for a team like Buffalo. And I don't mean that because Buffalo is some wonderful team or whatever. But what I mean by that is usually you get the hard knocks on the teams that finished in last place, the dysfunctional teams, the Cleveland Browns of the world, those teams that are dysfunctional to begin with. And they have some spicy stories about, whether if it was this year, if it would have been the Cleveland this year, you would have had the Deshaun Watson, Shedeur Sanders, all that nonsense going on, which would have taken a team and turned a dysfunctional team into a way dysfunctional team because you would have seen all the background stuff. So again, I think this is actually a good thing to have a franchise that's been pretty successful over the last 7 years and see how a successful organization runs. Of course, there probably might be drama during the training camp. It could happen. The James Cook, if he would have held out, that would have been a storyline that would have lingered through Hard Knocks to see what they were going to do and so on and so forth. But I think for the most part, I think it's just going to be a behind the scenes look at going into that meeting room with Brandon Beane to say you're cut or you're not or whatever, those kind of things. So I look at it as, from a Bills fans perspective, just a little bit of behind the scene glimpse, and again, it's going to be edited to make it better and the storylines to be whatever, but I think it'll be interesting.
Okay. So you don't believe in the Hard Knocks jinx?
I don't, like I said, I don't, and again, I look at it, the Hard Knocks jinx. I don't think it's so much of a Hard Knocks jinx. I think that when Hard Knocks, the way it was done before, is it was always the worst team or the second worst team or so on and so forth. So to say it was a jinx, it's hard to, because when you're on Hard Knocks, you're either the 3-13 or 3-14 team, or the 4-13 team, or the 5-12 team. So it's not like Hard Knocks went to the Kansas City Chiefs after they won the Super Bowl and the Kansas City Chiefs fell down to 5-12. So I don't believe in the jinx. I believe that Hard Knocks, what it was intended for, was to show the struggling teams and what they go through, and was really made for TV to show a dysfunctional organization and why they were, 4-13. Now you're getting a glimpse at a team that's been on top. And are you really going to get the drama that a Cleveland Browns team had, as opposed to a Buffalo team or a Kansas City team or a Pittsburgh team or a Baltimore team that doesn't go through that kind of drama? Now, I think a Cincinnati Hard Knocks would have been really nice this year, because again, you would have got the drama. You would have got the first round pick holding out. You would have got Trey Hendrickson in his contract dispute. Or you could have had the Dallas Cowboys, who've been on Hard Knocks before, the Micah Parsons dispute, the Trayvon Diggs getting his money docked, that kind of stuff. So again, I don't really look at it as a jinx. I look at it as maybe a little bit of a distraction from a team like Buffalo, but I don't really think they're going to be distracted all that much.
Okay. Well, I know the Jets were on there years ago. When they, with Rex Ryan, they were doing good, and they shit the bed.
Yeah.
So, I mean, it's been a while. They've had the Ravens on. They've had the Cowboys on. The Chiefs back in 2007, Bengals, Jets.
Yep.
In 2010, that's actually when the Jets went to the championship game.
Yeah, they went to the championship game the year they were on Hard Knocks, right?
Yeah, they did.
Yeah, so it's not a jinx.
Yeah, that's true.
I mean,
the rest of them are shit teams.
Mm-hmm. So again, I think the good teams, and again, with the Rex Ryan Jets, that organization was a functional organization. They had a good front office. They had a good coaching staff. They had talent. I mean, I don't necessarily think Mark Sanchez was a great quarterback, but Mark Sanchez, I mean, he did a decent job. I mean, the year him and Wayne Corbett, they played well together. Wayne Corbett was a great wide receiver. I loved Wayne Corbett. He reminds me a lot of or I should say, Cole Beasley reminds me a lot of Wayne Corbett. He was a small slot receiver that would make any catch at any time, at any point in the game. And he was dependable, sure-handed, reliable receiver. But again, like I say, the fact is, I think a Hard Knocks exposes a dysfunctional organization.
Okay, real quick, Paoli, too late. He is on the cover.
Hey, it didn't work. It didn't work for Josh Allen. I mean, Josh Allen was on the cover and he didn't have a jinx. I think he was on the cover last year, and he had his best season in terms of less turnovers. So Paoli, there's that. I mean, he cut down on his turnovers, made it to the AFC Championship game. So there's hope. So we'll see. Maybe Josh Allen broke the Madden curse. Maybe Josh Allen broke the Madden curse for everybody.
Of course. Of course. I'm not even going to go there. So
they should have
bought a new house. He bought it 2 weeks ago.
Yeah.
And it's because we generated $13 for the year on our channel here. So it all went to David.
But you know what? You know what's nice about my house? See, I still have OJ Simpson up in the top. Simpson's still in my house.
All right, Nicole.
Yeah, I had to move my baby grand piano in the back corner. I play after the show. It kind of mellows me out. I didn't get a new house, Paul. I wish. I could afford maybe the front door. Maybe just that front door I could. Maybe. If I took out a loan, I could afford the front door.
Yeah, and don't let me turn the camera back on after the show because David will show you.
Want me to show you what's really here? I'll show you my house.
Oh God.
No, I don't want to do that.
Yeah.
It's not bad enough.
Okay. So we are going to go through the AFC North tonight. Next week will be the NFC North. So if you want to come on the program tonight, shoot, you say, hey, I'll come on. If you definitely want to come on next week, if you are a fan of, the Bears, the Packers, Detroit Lions, or who the hell else is the NFC North? Minnesota Vikings. Come on and give us your win-loss prediction for that division. So anyone wants to come on, let us know. We'll get you on. Otherwise, if you want to come on next week, let us know and we will send you the invite. So let's start off with the Baltimore Ravens. The week 1, they are at Buffalo. And David, you already said that's a loss for the Ravens.
Yes, I did.
Okay. And then week 2, they go to Cleveland.
That's a win for the Ravens.
Okay, going to mark both these off. Week 3, they're at Detroit. Oh, no, I'm sorry. Detroit is at Baltimore.
That's going to be a win That's going to be a win. Yep, that's going to be a win for the Ravens.
Okay. Then, an afternoon game on Sunday. They go to Kansas City.
In Kansas City, that's going to be a loss.
All right. Then
I don't want Eric to think I'm a hater and trying to get the Chiefs to 5-12.
All righty. Then they have Houston at home.
That would be a win.
All right. Then they have the Rams at home.
Man, that's a tough game. But they're at home?
Yes, sir.
Being at home, I'll take the Ravens.
All right. So you got them at 4-2 going into the bye. They come out of the bye, and they have Chicago at home.
That would be a win.
Then they go to Miami on Thursday night.
That'll be a win.
Then they go to Minnesota.
Minnesota's defense is tough. I mean, J.J. McCarthy's a wild card.
I know that's the biggest.
Yeah, I'm gonna take Minnesota in an upset.
Okay.
I like Minnesota's defense.
All right.
Sorry.
Paul says Tua sees Lamar and gets a concussion.
Probably. Oh dear Lord. That would
that I wonder what the line on that in Vegas is if Tua gets concussion this year.
Oh, I'm sure it's high. I'm sure you lose. I'm sure you'd lose money on that. I'm sure it would be like a half to half.
Oh shit! Here he is.
Sorry, Sean. Go ahead. I'll let you control.
David can't give up the controls.
I tried.
No, he can't. What's going on, Jeffrey?
What's up, boss? How we doing?
I'm doing good. I'm a little behind, but I'm working on it.
It's all right. Just a couple years later.
Yeah.
I'm not too much sure how much longer I'm going to keep it. It's starting to look phenomenal, but I'm almost Gandalf. I'm Gandalf, the not so great.
Yeah, I think you
You
should
are
get a
going
wizard
Gandalf.
hat, and you would. I mean, if you got a wizard hat, you would be Gandalf, dude.
All right, bet. That's the next week. Watch, I will have it. I already have the Gandalf wand.
There you go.
We went to the. Well, that was Dumbledore, not Gandalf. But anyway, never mind. I don't have the Gandalf wand.
Yeah,
I'll get
he
a
was
Gandalf.
a staff. I thought you were talking about your penis.
Yeah, exactly. Either way, that's normally what I talk about.
Yeah, his dump, his
talk penis all
dump,
the time.
he's got a double door. That's what he's got.
Oh Jesus, that's not a good way to get
Yeah.
frozen, Jeff.
I know.
Oh God.
I wish I should have I should have screenshotted that, man. That would have been great.
What did it look like?
Your mouth was wide open. You're like,
No,
it was perfect.
it wasn't. No.
So, Jeffrey,
Oh.
Do you want to catch up here on the Ravens and give your predictions, or do you want to just continue where we are?
Oh, you can. I mean, we don't have to go through the season. I think the Ravens end up 14-3 or 13-4, one of those two interchangeable. And I don't know which games they lose, nor do I know which games they win. but I feel as though they have a team that should finish in that range, 14-3, 13-4.
Okay. All right. So David, back to you. At Cleveland.
That's gonna be a win.
Okay. Let me get Cleveland here. That's going to be a lot of losses for Cleveland, I think, this year. Okay, so then they have the New York Jets at home.
That'll be a win.
All right, then they have Cincinnati at home on Sunday Night Football.
Wow. Well, like I said, Cincinnati can't get their defense shit straight. I'm going to take the Ravens at home.
All righty.
Hey, real quick question. Who's the
Mhm.
Cincinnati defensive coordinator?
I have no idea.
Yeah, and granted, listen, I know this is not where we're going. As a matter of fact, I'm not going to be out here long. My phone's going to die, and I got stuff to do because I have to clean. But look, I gotta I understand when you compare a team from last year with their defensive problems, you lose the sack leader of the NFL, or potentially lose him. He's not going to be there more than likely, right? And I can understand that you're going to say that they can't be better. They can't even be even to what they were last year, and it was awful, right? But there are so many teams that I watch that don't have the sack leader, that have had bad years defensively in the past. And I know that their first pick is gone, or is not there either because of the nonsense. But I mean, I'm not sure. I can't imagine.
Jeffrey, Al Gordon is their defensive coordinator.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and he's nobody. Thank you. Thanks. I don't know who said that.
Mr.
Hot
Paoli.
Oh, okay, Hot Pockets. Thanks, boss. Appreciate it. I mean, and I'm not defending Cincinnati, nor am I fighting Eric with his prediction on it, right? I don't see where he's wrong, but at the same time, I also believe in teams that the next man up. I don't think they're going to be a top 5 defense. I don't think they're going to be a bottom 5 defense. I think that they're going to be an average defense, and I just think that the offense is their focal point, and it has been. And they've sealed that back up. So their 30 points a game is going to be good. Can they not give up 40? And I think that's where the question lies, right? And I think that it's easy to say. Anyway, so I'm sorry. I know that's a slide off
No.
of what
No,
we're talking
this
about.
is very valid.
Were they playing in Cincinnati or were
No,
they playing
that
in Baltimore?
one, the one he just said was in Baltimore.
Yeah, that's why. I
No,
think
no, Dave. I wasn't, and it wasn't a shot at your pick. It
No.
was simply just a general statement because
Oh, sure.
I picked Baltimore at home against Cincinnati too.
Mhm.
So Jeffrey, I know you said you're going to get off in a little bit, but I would ask if you will please come back to the show once you charge your phone a little bit, because I would really like you to go through the Steelers win-loss. Just because I
I got this feeling you and Eric have this go back and forth thing, and I would love for you to.
Now, Sean, what I could be, and we can chat on this on the backside, is I can be the protagonist or the antagonist or whatever tagonist you want me to be. As much as I give Eric shit because listen, 99.95% of my shit giving to Eric is only after he starts talking random foolishness about the Bills, right? I do it to throw it right back at him. I don't see. I can play either role, but at the end of the day, the schedule looks like it could be competitive. I mean, 9-8 is the floor, right? 10-7 is the ceiling. No, I'm kidding. Yeah, I'll try to get back off for the Steelers thing. It'd be great.
That'd be wonderful. And yeah, so Eric will probably be on at the same time because
yeah. Hey,
I wish
Dave,
KD was on for this, but
yeah. Well, Katie, and for you guys that are watching right now, I mean, if you have interest in the Ravens, well, one, even if you're not interested in the Ravens, support our guy because he does his own individual Ravens show. Take a look. It's very objective. I mean, I like it. He gives unbiased perspectives of his team, players, depth, and all that stuff. So take a look. I think that he did a rundown of what he thought it was going to be. Obviously, being here, Sean, would be great because it's always good to have the conversations because he's not an unrealistic fan when it comes to his team, right? I mean, he breaks it down to a fair amount. The competition as is today, without knowing what the 53-man roster is going to look like. That's the part that I always find funny and not a bad thing. And I told David last night how difficult right now in my mind. This may be one of the more difficult seasons that I've had to pick the NFL, right? I mean, I find there's like a handful of teams, maybe a handful, that are probably at the top tier and the teams that are probably going to be in the playoffs again. And one of those may or may not, disappoint me and not make the playoffs. But the rest, it's just really crowded in a average to maybe a little bit above average than a whole bunch of shit. And to me, I think there's going to be a couple shit teams that make playoffs just based on the fact that there's going to be accidents, right? In the whole grand scheme of things. But anyway, it'll be interesting. But yeah, hey, I'll come back on and we'll chat. And I appreciate you guys, and I'll talk to you soon.
Anthony said Al Golden was the former coach at Notre Dame last year. That's who the defensive coordinator.
Can't leave.
All right. So we're going to head back.
Thanks, Anthony.
So then, here we go. Then they have Pittsburgh Steelers at home.
At home, I'm going to take Baltimore.
Okay. Let me get to the Steelers here and give them the big L.
Mm-hmm.
All right, then. They are at Cincinnati.
That's a loss.
All right. And then they are have New England at home.
That would be a win.
Then they are at Green Bay.
Woo! I'm going to go loss. I think Green Bay shocks them.
All right, then they end up at Pittsburgh for the last game of the season.
I think Pittsburgh is fighting for their playoff life. I think by that time Baltimore will clinch the division, and therefore I will give that game to Pittsburgh.
All right. Okay, so now we are on to the Cincinnati Bengals. Their first game, they are at Cleveland.
That's a win.
The only reason why I'm going to refute on this a little bit. I'm not making the predictions, but
the Bengals always start off shitty. They lose to teams the first couple weeks of the season they have no business losing to. I mean, they lost it to fucking New England last year, week 1.
Well, I think they come out of the gate early. I get what you're saying, but I think they come out of the gate early. I think knowing how they finished last year and knowing how close they were to the playoffs, I think I think with their with knowing their defense might have that issue with Trey Hendrickson and Shamar Stewart. I think offensively they jump out of the gate early, so they don't. You know what I mean? I just think that.
Okay.
I think they come out to a fast start.
Okay. Yeah, I don't think they lose that game either, but they typically start off like shit.
Yeah, absolutely.
All right. So week 2, they have Jacksonville at home.
I think that's a win, but I don't think I think it's a nail biter again. I think points wise they can match up. Jacksonville is going to be a sneaky good team. I think Brian Thomas in his second year, Lawrence coming back, and they are in Jacksonville or they're in Cincinnati.
Cincinnati.
Yeah, and for the home field, that's why I give it to them. If they were in Jacksonville, I might sing a different tune.
Okay, then they are at Minnesota.
Minnesota is a mystery team. I'm going to say they lose. I'm going to say they lose. Defensively, Minnesota's sound, and not knowing J.J. McCarthy.
Okay, I'm going to disagree with you on that one. Minnesota,
They have a good defensive line. Their pass defense is still suspect as fuck. And last year, they played great in the first half. The second half, they were nowhere to be found.
so,
but they still finished 15-2.
What's that?
They still finished 15-2.
true, but they should not have won many of those games. But that's just because
I got
just
you.
hooked the ball.
I got you.
Okay. So then on Monday Night Football, they are at Denver.
Man,
Yeah.
I think they lose that game. I think Denver's defense is too tough, and Denver's offense, I think, will be. I'm not saying that they're going to score 40 points, but I think their defense can hold them to under points.
Okay. Then on a Sunday afternoon, they have
Detroit at home.
Wow. 2 teams that can score 40 points. Who was going to score 41?
yeah.
Man. If I'm going up just based on points, and if I have to go by their defenses, I trust Detroit more than I trust Cincinnati in that game. So I'm going to take Detroit.
Okay. Then also Sunday afternoon, they are at Green Bay.
I think Cincinnati finds a way to win that game.
All right.
Then Thursday Night Football, they are at home against the Pittsburgh Steelers.
At home, they win.
All right. Then they have the New York Jets at home.
Again, I think they win just because they score points.
Okay.
And that confirms what you've already said with the Jets. Then they have Chicago at home.
Hold on, Sean. That's going to be a win for Cincinnati. We got a question from Packers All the Way. It says, what are your thoughts on the Packers extending Zach Tom and moving Bo Melton to cornerback from wide receiver? I don't know if Bo Melton ever played cornerback in college. If he was a two-way player, I guess from the standpoint of from a wide receiver, knowing how routes are run and so on and so forth, it might not be such a bad swap. But again, there is that learning curve. So I just hope people don't come in and expect Bo Melton to light it up because there is going to be obviously a learning curve to that position. But, you know, they obviously saw something enough where they felt comfortable enough to move him from the wide receiver to the cornerback position. So I think that'll be an interesting adjustment, and it'll be interesting to watch throughout the year and see how he adjusts to that.
Yeah, and after they lost, is it Alexander they lost? Is that his
Yeah.
name? Okay,
Mhm.
yeah. But this kid's he's played on special teams.
Mhm.
He's been a gunner and a blocker on punt return. So obviously the kid's not afraid to hit. Like that
Right.
would be my first thing. Wide receivers, they don't like to hit people. But if he's okay with getting hit and hitting, that's good. Yeah. I mean, I don't think it's optimum for them to do it, but with what they got, I mean, the kid's athletic. He could totally do it.
And again, I don't know if he ever played any defensive back in college or if he has any background as a defensive back at all. So again, I think just the inexperience, there's going to be an adjustment and there's going to be a learning curve. But obviously, the Packers front office and coaching staff felt comfortable enough to move him from wide receiver, again, from the ability to make the roster. From the standpoint of what they did at wide receiver in the draft, the fact that they still want this guy on the roster, maybe because of his special teams contributions, and the fact that they think he can do an adequate job at cornerback. So I think it's going to be an interesting work in progress. But again, I think if it pans out, I think it's no harm, no foul to Green Bay to see if that can work.
Yeah, and first of all, great question. Packers all the way. This just came out 2 hours ago. I wasn't even aware of it. He has not played defensive back in college, so it's going to be interesting to see how that works out. It would have been something had you not mentioned it, I would not have even paid attention to. But he's from Rutgers, so he's definitely scrappy, but he's not receiving wise. He hasn't done great in the NFL, so
right.
Maybe it's the last ditch.
And Zach Tom, what position did he play? Zach Tom, is he a linebacker? I'm sorry, I'm not familiar with Zach Tom, so.
Yeah. Zach Tom, Packers. Sorry.
So I apologize.
He's a tackle, offensive tackle.
Oh, well, anytime you can extend and keep your offensive unit intact, and if it's somebody that Jordan Love trusts, absolutely. You keep that. I mean, continuity for any offensive line is key. And I had discussions with this with my brother. I had discussions with this with KD, because we were talking about free agency and we're talking about, and I know I'm a Bills fan and I'm not trying to be biased towards the Bills fans, but the Buffalo Bills have brought back all 10 of their offensive linemen, their starters and their backups. The Baltimore Ravens re-signed Ronnie Stanley when everybody thought he was going to leave in free agency. So the importance of an offensive line and the importance of having that continuity and comfortability between a quarterback and an offensive line, but more importantly, the offensive line in its whole, from a communication standpoint, from being able to dissect and diagnose what's going on, whether you're playing a team that you've studied, play a team that you played before, knowing what they're going to run with this tendency and that tendency so that the offensive line is prepared, it is huge. And I don't care if you're a all-pro. I don't care if you're a middle-tier offensive lineman. If you have that continuity and your quarterback and your team is comfortable with you in that position, there is no greater position or more important position that you re-sign than your offensive line. So good on them.
Absolutely. And hey, Packers all the way. We would love you to come on next week when we do the NFC North win-loss predictions. And if you would come on and give us what you think is going to happen, because that's what we're about here. Great question. I'm sorry, David and I were both not intelligent about that until we looked it up. But hey, we're just a couple of schmucks. We're doing this show. So then we're gonna go. They go on a bye week. Then Cincinnati comes back, and they are at Pittsburgh.
I'm going to say Pittsburgh wins that game in Pittsburgh.
All righty. That's the second win you've given them. Okay, then they have New England at home.
That's a win for Cincinnati.
All right. Then they're at Baltimore. You already said they were going to lose. Then they are at Sunday afternoon at Buffalo.
I think Buffalo. I think I picked Buffalo to win the game. I think Buffalo does, especially coming off.
You had Buffalo losing.
Well, then I'm going to change that because, unfortunately, coming off the Baltimore game, I think it's going to be a letdown, and I think Buffalo comes back to finally beat Cincy. And we're going to bring Eric onto the show. Hi, Eric.
Wow, now you got Buffalo 15-2.
Hey, I mean, I'm just saying.
I think you're fucking high. Hey, Eric, how you doing?
Oh, I'm sure I am.
90 some degrees out today, 2 a day, or we got team camp the rest of the week. It's going pretty good though.
Good.
Very nice. We're gonna finish up the Bengals here. Then we're gonna move on to the Browns and the Pittsburgh Steelers.
Sweet. All right.
So,
I'll finish off and if we could put the schedules, I'll look at the schedules up and I'll just listen in and then I'll pick up on the next team. Who are we doing next?
Cleveland,
we're gonna do Cleveland Browns.
Cleveland and
We
Pittsburgh.
got 3 games left for the Bengals.
Okay, so Cleveland will just go 0-17, but I'll do Baltimore.
There you go. There you go. All right. Okay, so then they have Miami at home.
At home, I'm taking Cincinnati. It'll be below 50.
I apologize. I lied. They are at Miami on Sunday Night Football.
I'm still taking Cincinnati.
Yeah. Being December 21st in Miami, I think, yeah, they're good. Then they have Arizona at home.
Arizona at home, I'm taking Cincinnati.
And then they have Cleveland at home.
I'm taking Cincinnati.
All right.
So what did I have Baltimore finishing? You never did the rundown.
2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. You had 11-6.
Okay.
And for the Bengals, $11-6.
Wow.
All right. So let's go Cleveland Browns.
All right, Eric. I'll let you go first.
So Eric, David already predicted this game. They have Cincinnati at home. David said Browns are going to lose.
They've got Cincinnati at home.
Yes, in Cleveland.
Oh God, but Kenny Pickett, give me Cincy.
Kenny Pickett.
Joe Flacco.
If it's Joe Flacco, see that we're going to get Sean all in trouble because we're going to put if conditions if.
No, it's going to be Joe Flacco.
We'll go Cincinnati week 1. Okay.
All right. Then the second game, they go to Baltimore. David already said a loss at Baltimore.
Loss.
Okay. Then they have Green Bay at home. David?
Green Bay at home, I'm going to say loss.
Loss.
Eric? Okay. Then they go to Detroit.
Oh, God. Loss.
Okay.
Loss.
Then they are across the pond and they play Minnesota.
Loss.
Loss.
Oh, this is not fucking looking good. Even though the chick on Let's Go Grow Brownies, we know how you feel about her, Eric.
Yeah,
but,
so I just want to tell the viewers, hey, if you want entertainment and you want really good coverage on a really bad team, and you want really good coverage, they do a really fantastic job, and she's really good to look at. So tune in.
All right, I just want to tell you all how ghetto we are here. All right, Eric's using toilet paper as a fucking napkin right now.
Hey, I literally walked in my kitchen and rushed in here to be on the show because I love you guys.
We appreciate you coming. You know,
Yeah.
it just looking at that. If you don't think we're all blue collar idiots, you know, there you go. And now he's off the air.
Hey, it could be worse. I could be using a Viva paper towel and eating my food off of it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, paper towels all right. Toilet paper that's not good. Anyway, so then they are at Pittsburgh.
Loss.
I'm going to assume Eric's going to take them to win that game. Paoli, love it. I do it too. There you go. All right. Well, when Eric comes back on, we'll retract a couple of games. But then they have Miami at home.
You know what? Cleveland gets their first win.
Wow. You got them 1-6 at this point. Then they go to New England.
That's a loss.
Then they have the Jets at home after a bye week. And I got to go back to your thing.
That's going to be a loss. Yeah, that's a loss.
Okay, then you already have them. Baltimore at home. They're home against Baltimore. They lose. Then they go to the Vegas Raiders.
That's going to be an interesting game. That's going to be. Cleveland gets their second win.
Then they have San Francisco at home.
That's a loss.
Loss.
All right. Eric, back up. Pittsburgh.
Loss.
They have at Pittsburgh, loss. They have Miami at home.
Win.
They are at New England.
Loss.
They are at the New York Jets.
Loss.
They have Baltimore at home.
Win.
Oh, KD. Hopefully, KD's done.
That's just weird. That's just a Baltimore hater trying to get them to 5-12.
All right, then at Vegas.
We'll give him a win there.
Okay. Then
See, if you weren't a Baltimore hater, me and you would have had the exact same prediction for them that entire thing. But you're just a Baltimore hater, and you're going to give them a win in Baltimore.
I don't know. I mean,
Come on,
it's a division game.
Be seriously. I don't give a shit.
Kenny Pickett is 2-0 against the Baltimore Ravens.
By that time, Shedeur Sanders will be playing.
That's true.
there you go. Okay, then they have Tennessee at home.
Win.
Win.
Then they are at Chicago.
Win.
Hey, just real quick, with the Will Levis thing, do we actually think he's really hurt, or are they just like?
I think he's hurt. If he's getting shoulder surgery, but again, it gives Tennessee the perfect out.
Yep.
It's the mayonnaise. That's the problem. It's the mayonnaise.
I will go this far and say, had they not had the first pick and had they not drafted Cam Ward, Will Levis would not have had shoulder surgery this year.
Probably.
So there you go.
All right. Then they have Baltimore at home. I'm sorry. Buffalo at home.
Loss. Go ahead.
No, loss.
Then they have Pittsburgh at home.
Loss.
How late in the season is that?
This is Sunday, December 28th at 1 o'clock.
Second last week of the season.
Oh, second last week of the season and a 1 o'clock game. If it was a Thursday night game, I'd give it to them. But a 1 o'clock game, they'll lose.
And then they are at Cincinnati. David, you already said they were going to lose.
Lose. Loss.
Okay. Holy shit. 1, 2, 3. David has them 3-14. Eric has them 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 12.
Can you imagine just being the Manning family and sitting there and you're you know, one of your prized, you know, kids is getting ready to get drafted and you're like, oh God, please not Cleveland.
Yeah.
Which quarterback was it that didn't want to go to? It was Eli. Didn't want to go to the
San Diego.
You could
Yep.
see history repeat itself here.
Oh, yeah.
I think you could, because I think in second position after Cleveland is going to be the New York Jets. Well, no, probably the Tennessee Titans, but they don't need a quarterback. It'll be the
Yep.
Jets in third,
Yep.
and he's not going to go to the Jets. There's no fucking way.
Maybe.
All right.
New York's a better market than Cleveland.
Yeah, he can make more money in marketing in New York than he can in Cleveland.
The only reason to go to Cleveland is to be covered by that girl in Let's Go Brownies.
If the Jets got Arch Manning, there would be no Jet fan who would need any Viagra or Cialis for like a week.
And they would still go 4-13, but it would be cool to have a Manning on the back of it.
I'm just saying, from draft day to 7 days later, you're going to have a boner. That's just the way it works.
All right. So here we go. The Pittsburgh Steelers.
Been waiting all day for this.
Wait a minute. Hold on 1 second. Hold on 1 second.
When is Jeff supposed to come on here?
Yep.
Oh, yeah, he is. I'm going to let you guys talk for a moment. And,
Yeah. I just had to text them to say, Eric's here, get your ass on.
Hey,
Yeah.
we're waiting on him. We had a great practice, okay?
Yeah.
We ran 2-minute drill there, and, you know, I'm the timekeeper. And offensively, man, if we were kicking field goals, we just scored on all 3 drives.
Cool.
That's what I'm talking about.
You were kicking field goals?
If we were kicking field goals. Well, we're in 2 minute.
See, you got that Pittsburgh Steelers offense. That's fantastic.
Man, if we're in a high school offense running 2-minute drill, the goal is to get to the 30, my guy. We did score one.
I'm just saying, you know, I mean, you got that Pittsburgh Steelers offense humming. Hey, guys, just get to the 25. We'll be kicking field goals.
New Haven football hasn't kicked a field goal probably in 2 years.
Well, you better see, you want to run a full Pittsburgh Steelers offense, you should go over and say, I'm going to work on special teams now because this guy's going to be working a lot. He's got to be kicking. No, but hey, I got to ask you a question while we're waiting for Jeff to jump on.
Yep.
Did you see the news about Artie Burns, the cornerback in Miami, for his ACL?
It's unfortunate, man, because when he came to the league, he was playing hard.
Yeah.
And, you know, in Pittsburgh, a lot of times teams throw because they traditionally stop the run, so there's a lot of pressure on a corner. And he cracked under pressure, but he was kind of fixing his career. Artie Burns plays on some bad teams, like he was with Chicago. He's in some bad situations. I kind of feel bad for the guy. But at this point of his career with an ACL injury,
and I think the bad part for Miami is the fact you just got rid of Jalen Ramsey and you moved him to Pittsburgh, and he was basically the senior cornerback there. Yeah. And now, you know what I mean? So, I mean, the good thing about Miami is you still have Rasul Douglas in free agency. You still have Asante Samuel Jr., who's out there in free agency. Yeah. So if you need to get one, you can. But I just think for Miami, the timing could not have been worse to, deal with that. So, all right, I killed my 3 minutes of talking. But hey, Jeff, I just wanted to let you know.
Did Pickens get hurt today?
No.
You know
But-
what he did? You know what? That's funny. I
Did
don't know if
he?
we talked about him or not, but real quick, he talked a bunch of crap about how simple the offense is in Pittsburgh, and then in that same practice, he caught a good pass and then was running down the field, fumbled the ball, and threw it.
Yeah, he fumbled, but I think he got hit on the sideline and he hurt his leg. They had
Oh,
him wait
wow.
around.
Oh,
I
did they really?
didn't know. I don't know to the extent. I mean, I just saw it briefly.
Oh, I have to look.
Oh, well, but hey, Jeff, just before we start this, Eric was telling me about they were running the 2-minute drills in the high school. And he was saying how good they were doing.
We
And
scored all 3 times.
he said, if they would be kicking field goals, we would have scored all 3 times. So what I told him is I said, you got that Pittsburgh Steelers offense over there humming. Now what you got to do is you got to not only coach running backs, you got to coach special teams, because there ain't nothing more important in a Pittsburgh Steelers offense than your kicker.
Hey, so our kicker, and he wasn't there today, but we scored on the first time. We scored in 45 seconds. Awesome. Our kicker is El Diablo. Okay.
El Diablo.
El Diablo was not there today, but if he was there today, man, we'd have been cooking.
He would have been cooking. Mike Boswell, 18.
Well, that's good.
16.
All right, Sean, now I'll give it back to you.
All righty. So here we go. We're going to go through the Pittsburgh Steelers schedule, wins and losses. Now, already, David, with the way things have shaken out from the previous ones, has got 7 wins for Detroit. So he's just got to find 2 more to go 9-8, and then the Steelers season's over. So we have that going.
Okay. I'm a fair picker. I'm not trying to bury the Steelers. I just
Okay.
I
We're
pick-
going to find out. So week 1, they are at the New York Jets. David already said they're going to win that game. Jeffrey.
Well, they're so similar in the way they run their teams, and they're about the same skill set. I will. I mean, the problem is it's week 1, right? So I'm actually going to pick the Jets, and I picked the Jets, by the way, when we went to the AFC East, and I only picked the Jets not because of any other reason besides the fact that it's week 1. I don't care if it was Pittsburgh. I'm picking the Jets just because even Justin Fields with the Steelers had a good week 1. I mean, they scored 18 points, if I'm correct. That was the game in which
Chris Boswell had a great game week 1. If you
What's that?
It was Boswell.
Yeah. I mean, but Fields put him in position to kick 6 field goals.
Boswell hit 3 50-yarders and 2 40-plus yarders.
Yeah.
So, I mean,
Yeah, hopefully the Jets have a kicker. I don't know who kicks now. I'm going to pick the Steelers on week 1.
anything can happen in between injuries and now. And I don't think the Jets are going to be a terrible team. But on paper, I think Pittsburgh's better, so I'll go with the Steelers.
All right. Then week 2, they have Seattle at home. David.
I'm going to take Seattle. I like Sam Darnold. I like their wide receivers. I like the running backs.
Who's the right receivers? DK Metcalf and Lockett are gone. Who do they have? Ninjigma?
Yeah,
And
that's it.
they have who did they sign? They got
Did he just say
They got Cooper Kupp and Smith.
Cooper Kupp. They got Cooper Kupp. They got JSN. They cut Noah Fant. They got Arroyo, the tight end. They got Kenneth Walker and Zach Charbonnet. And
I'm kidding.
And I'm going to take the Seattle Seahawks.
Okay.
Okay.
Go
Jeffrey.
ahead, Jeff.
I'm going to pick Seattle myself, but it has nothing to do with any of that stuff. Again, I think Pittsburgh starts off decently, but I don't think they start off with first weeks of the season, right? I think that I still think it's going to take time for the team to mesh, all of it, right? I mean, I think if Pittsburgh's going to be Pittsburgh, what Eric wants them to be, with all the new faces. I mean, TJ Watt was talking about it today. It takes time. I mean, just like anything else. And I think that where they beat the Jets, I think that they'll slip up against Seattle. I think it'll be 1-1.
Okay.
All right.
David, we do not have to go an hour every game because I'll be here all fucking night. So
Well, I'm trying to be thoughtful.
You're trying to be thoughtful. I like the weapons of Seattle. Who do they have at wide receiver again?
No, but I just forgot that I knew they had JSN, and I knew they signed a good wide receiver, and I just couldn't remember.
I know, and I love you. You literally lose to yourself in debate.
I know. No, shut up.
And I appreciate
you would take Cooper Kupp over Robert Woods. Okay, I rest my case.
Oh, I hope so.
I mean, Cooper. I probably would. But okay, so at home opener, I'll take Pittsburgh next game.
Okay, then we are at New England. David has the Steelers winning.
Jeff?
No, can't have the Steelers win if it's Eric because New England's a fucking juggernaut. I mean, every time Eric talks about New England and Mike Vrabel and all the weapons.
Eric, he must be really torn.
Yeah, he's torn in this game. I'm picking Pittsburgh.
Come on, Eric. Come on. Where's your New England's a juggernaut? I want to see the torment.
3-0 next game.
The torment. I saw that in your face.
All right. Then they are across the pond at with Minnesota.
Oh God! Here
Loss. They lose.
Okay.
You know, I want to say they'd lose against Minnesota. I mean, I know Eric will go through his history lesson, but the problem I have, and really, it's the only if it's the Minnesota team from last year. If it's the Minnesota team from last year, I mean, I'm picking Minnesota. Like I am. They're just good. And it would have been the same team. I have a really big problem with JJ.
JJ McCarthy.
Yeah, I do. I have an issue with that. I'm not a huge Sam Darnold fan, but he was fine there. I don't know that JJ can. I mean, he's a rookie. I don't give a shit. It's the second year. He hasn't played. And I get all their skill set players, and they have it. Their defenses even improved from last year. So I think overall they're good. I just don't trust that J.J. McCarthy's going to do a damn thing. So I'll pick Pittsburgh, but I want to pick Minnesota. I just can't because I think J.J. McCarthy goes 3-13.
Well, I mean, logically, a rookie against a secondary that should be pretty good is not. And the Steelers have a great history against young rookie quarterbacks. If you look at over time how they've done. So, but I do think that they're trying to build that image in Ireland, and I think it would be funny if the Vikings won, because Vikings winning in Ireland would be hilarious, historically speaking. But I do think that sometimes NFL influences games, and this will be one where you guys will be like, "Did you see how terrible officiated it was for Pittsburgh?" Because I think it'll be fixed. So give me Pittsburgh in this one.
And Eric's be like, I love Goodell this game. I love him. He's the best ever.
I'll rehire Goodell. It'll be instead of fire Goodell.
Rehire.
All right. The next
extend them.
The Steelers have Cleveland at home. David, you already said Steelers are going to win this game. Jeffrey.
Pittsburgh.
5-0.
Then they are Thursday Night Football at Cincinnati. David picked them to lose this game.
Cincinnati.
Now,
Eric?
while I got Cincinnati winning, and while I think Cincinnati's not going to be a great team, I think the Bengals will win at home on Thursday night, a short week.
Okay. Then they have Green Bay at home on Sunday Night Football.
I got to take Green Bay. I know they got a defense, but it's Pittsburgh. But I just don't. I'm taking Green Bay.
This is a challenge for me. Green Bay's been good, even with Love, and Love hasn't impressed me overall. A lot of times he does. It's difficult for me to pick against Green Bay because every time I do, that's the one team that every single time I pick against them, they win, and I don't give a shit who they're playing, so it's tough. The problem I have is that I think Aaron Rodgers has beat 31 NFL teams, and the only team he hasn't beat yet is Green Bay because he hasn't played them outside of
Never,
right? He's never played. So, what week is this? This will be week 7?
This is week 8.
Okay, week
Sunday
8.
Night
So
Football.
by week 8, the Steelers' defense will be depleted with injuries. Aaron Rodgers will be out with an Achilles injury, and Warren will show why he was the number 2 back and not starting. I think Green Bay wins. This is where the schedule starts to equal out to where the 9-8 thing becomes reality.
Win next game.
Okay. Then they have Indianapolis at home.
That's going to be a win.
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 Then they are at the LA Chargers.
That's going to be a loss.
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 Well, unless Herbert leaves in the third quarter again, because that's how you beat him last time.
Then they have Cincinnati at home. David already said they will win that game.
Who, Pittsburgh wins that game?
Mhm.
Yeah, that's what David said.
Yeah, I don't see a Cincy sweep. I will be interested, though. We'll talk more on this, obviously, the week leading up to the game. I'll pick Pittsburgh. That may change. Obviously, all this stuff may change, but I'll pick Pittsburgh.
Yeah, Cincinnati's defense is going to really struggle this year, and I don't see them sweeping. I see them winning on a Thursday night, but they get trounced here.
I don't
All righty,
think
then
Not
they're
against
at Chicago.
That's a win.
Hey, listen. I don't understand where I've seen like 7 or 8 different professional sports analysts, announcers, former players that are pros say that Chicago's winning the division. Until Chicago wins a fucking anything, like I don't understand it. But Chicago loses this game. I think Chicago is another top 5 draft choice. I don't get it at all. But anyway, yeah, Pittsburgh over Chicago.
And I'm not a believer in their quarterback either in Chicago. I think he's a puss.
I'm not a believer in their whole.
Yeah, I don't. I think their coaching staff's a mess. I think they're.
Well, I think Ben Johnson can get it done. I just don't think year one. I don't think he has the talent year one.
But here's the issue. I don't even know about talent, right? They have talent. I think there's talent. I think the issue I have is that it's so great when people that's what a lot of people are talking about is Ben Johnson, right? Well, we can't talk about Ben Johnson being this great thing if Dan Campbell's the number 5 head coach in the fucking NFL, right? Because Dan Campbell is Detroit's reason. Johnson ain't coached nobody. He's never been a head coach. We've watched coordinators come out of the behind the head coach's realm all the time and then get shelled in their performances as head coach. Until I see him coach.
It would be like Joe Brady being the head coach of the Cleveland Browns and the Bills had the number 1 scoring offense and expecting Cleveland to go and win the AFC North.
Exactly.
Just because Joe Brady was the offensive coordinator of the highest scoring team in the NFL.
Yeah, I mean, and so
it's unrealistic.
I'm not willing to say he sucks, but I'm also not willing to give him I'm not giving him the benefit of the doubt. Not to that extent, not to win the division. The team, I mean, because here's the deal: he doesn't coach defense, and their defense sucked. I mean, they have players, but anyway, neither here nor there.
To be quicker,
Pittsburgh over Chicago.
To be quicker, and I just want to say one thing. The greatest football folly I've ever seen is when the Chicago linemen were blocking each other on a play. Hilarious. I've been around the game a long time. I've never seen I've never seen a junior high kid do that. That was awesome. But I've got a Pittsburgh.
I saw that today, by the way, Eric. I mean, I don't know.
Did you?
All right, so here we go. Then they have Buffalo at home. David already has them as a loss.
Jeffrey?
Buffalo wins.
Eric?
Oh, this is a game that maybe Jeff and I go to. So it's at home. I got Pittsburgh winning.
You have who winning?
I have Pittsburgh winning at home.
Okay.
Can we get a little bit into this? I know, Sean, you're trying to move down the road, and I'm holding up everything. But I guess so Eric's. You're stating this because you don't think Buffalo has the horses. You said it's at home, which creates a difference, right? A home field advantage. But what is the advantage specifically? Is it the noise? Is it the crowd? I mean,
no, I think so. I think there is no advantage. Buffalo's a cold weather team. I think being an old quarterback for a big game and being in your home environment of not your routines and not having to go travel, I think that plays a little bit of a role. I believe. Having to travel, I believe all that stuff plays into football, not being in your habits. You're not in your daily habits, okay? And so Rodgers gets to be in his daily habit, And being an old guy late in the season when it's getting cold outside, I think it'll play to his advantage. I think it'll be a good game. I think Buffalo's. I talk a lot of shit, but I think Buffalo will be competitive and will be, a team that is a tough out. I don't think they're going to be as good as they were last year, and I don't like the receivers they have. And I think I wish they'd I wish they'd spend some money and get a Derrick Henry or get somebody that could get them over the top, but they continue not to, and they continue just to do what they're doing and be content being close instead of taking a big swing and trying to get over there. I
don't understand that perspective. It's fine. We won't turn this into a Buffalo. I guess the question I was having, it wasn't even so much a Bills Steelers thing.
I think the old guy and his routine.
Well, I will say the only advantage playing at a Kersey Stadium that Pittsburgh has over Buffalo, it's the only thing, is Tyler Bass is not a great field goal kicker. And when you have to kick at that other end of the stadium where the wind blows through that tunnel, and it's what it could come down to, is the making or missing of a field goal kick. And Boswell is used to kicking in that stadium, and Tyler Bass, who already has issues. I mean, that's what it really could come down to. That's how close this game can go.
And
it could go wide right.
Yeah, which is normal for Buffalo historically. Even
no, I'm just pointing out
that's a very obvious thing. I think my point wasn't so much why is Pittsburgh? Why are you giving Pittsburgh home field thing? I really enjoy, like David and I have debated on this for years. Like I'm talking about like 15 of them, maybe 20, just about home field advantage and the value of it. And certain times I don't discredit it, and other times, like, to be honest, Buffalo and Pittsburgh, the home field advantage, it really isn't. I don't think, because I think both teams being 3 hours separated, they travel well, right? And don't get me wrong, Pittsburgh's going to be Pittsburgh at home, and I get that. But Buffalo, even when Pittsburgh was against Buffalo in the playoffs, there were several Steelers fans. In the past, there's been several Bills fans. So when I talk home field advantage and we look at certain teams, I'm like, okay, I'll take that. But in a Buffalo-Pittsburgh game, I mean, obviously the stadium's different. I liked what you said about the routine, because that does matter. I'm not negating that at all. I just find that specific conversation interesting all the time, especially if travel's minimal, at best it's 3 hours driving up. If they take a plane, it's 40 minutes or whatever. Anyway.
So if we're lining up any other quarterback in this situation, then I got to charge my phone because I've been on the road all day. But if we're talking about any other quarterback in this situation, I agree with you. But if we're talking about an old quarterback who's on his last ride in a crucial, big time game, I think he gets his ass kicked in Buffalo. And if they have to go in the playoffs in Buffalo, it's going to be trouble. But if he's in his own routine and he can get going, I think Steelers do pretty well at home, and I think that environment does, which is why it's crucial they try to get some home playoff games if they're going to win one.
No, I got you. No issue. I mean, but I'm still going Buffalo.
Okay.
All right, so we're going to move on.
So just so you know, we're going to have a From the Couch special at the end of this game where Jeff and I are going to share a Permani sandwich here in an Iron City, and I'm going to get that hug I've been desiring.
Hey, listen, what you're going to see, I'm going to wear this white shirt underneath my clothes, and what you're going to see is a whole bunch of water, and it's because Eric's tears are going to drench through my shirt, and I'm like, "Hey, my ass off, you fucking weirdo!"
See your weird ass nipples. I don't need to see your nipples.
No.
Oh
I don't
God.
even know where they're at. I
Sean.
can't even find them.
See, good thing you live in Tampa because it's not cold there. So anyway, okay, so we're gonna go on, and the next game is at Baltimore. David, you already have them losing this game.
Loss.
Loss.
Oh, wow. Okay, so then they have Miami at home on Monday Night Football on December 15th. David,
I think I already have them as a win.
Win.
Yeah, Pittsburgh win.
Agreed.
cold weather at night, done. Then they are at Detroit.
That's a loss.
Loss.
Yeah, it's a loss.
Then they are at Cleveland. David, you have them winning.
They're at Cleveland.
Yep.
Is it supposed to be sunny or no, I'm kidding? Pittsburgh wins.
Yeah.
I'm just joking. I don't care what they're doing in Cleveland.
Win.
Jeff, you said win.
Yeah. Sorry.
Okay. And then last game of the season at home versus Baltimore. David has them winning.
David has Pittsburgh winning that game.
Yeah, because Baltimore will clinch the playoffs and probably clinch home field or at the NFC North, and then Pittsburgh will be playing to get in.
So if all of that is true, right, then I will agree that Lamar's sitting and they lose. If this game has any meaning to it for Baltimore and Pittsburgh, I'm going to side with Baltimore winning, right? So, I mean, again, because we'll pretend that something happened, I'll pick Pittsburgh for now, but again, we'll revisit this the week of. Just because if it matters, I just think on paper, by virtue of last year, I don't know that Pittsburgh's done enough to stop what they need to stop against Baltimore. I don't think a lot of teams have, by the way. So it's not a shot on Pittsburgh. I think they've done stuff, but I don't think they've got anybody that's going to stop Henry. And if they do, that's fine. But Lamar will move on the outside because they still have to contain. So I'll pick Pittsburgh for now, but we'll relook again.
Okay, so just remember last year, I mean, so Baltimore did very well in the playoff game, but until Russell Wilson fumbled the ball inside the 10, Pittsburgh won the first game and was on their way to winning the second game. And so traditionally, Baltimore's not going to sweep Pittsburgh. It's not going to happen. It hasn't happened in, God, it's been, I'll have to look it up. But it might be
you can't use that, Eric.
I'm just saying. Because when these two teams that know each other, they know each other. Okay. But anyhow, I'm going to take Pittsburgh at home, even though I don't think it matters. I think they probably have things locked up by then in the division. But go ahead.
No, I didn't mean to interrupt you.
And by the way, just real quick, I just want to point out is David beat himself in another argument because one, he's got Baltimore and Cincinnati at 11-6, and he said Baltimore will have everything locked up at 11-6, even though he has two teams tied at 11-6. And
yeah,
but I'm just pointing out. I'm just listening to you.
Well, I think Baltimore has a better division record than Cincinnati.
Okay. Well, Sean can do his research.
Real quick, and I got a question. Hold on. I just have it's two things, and one, I want to apologize for interrupting when you're talking because I do that frequently, and I didn't mean it truly. So I wasn't doing it on purpose. So that's one.
Sensitive bitch.
Yeah,
Hey, from the couch first.
Yeah, from the couch first. But here's the deal. You said that they split, but Baltimore was on the way to winning against. So they won 18-16 the first game. They barely squeaked by, and that was a field goal, right? Because that's what it comes down to between these two teams routinely. The next game was 34-17, and I always like the conversation about they were on their way to win, but which is a hypothetical because they got their ass whooped, and then in the playoffs they got beat up for real. Now, don't get me wrong, Baltimore beat the hell out of Buffalo in the regular season too, which was ugly, much worse than, by the way, than what they did to Pittsburgh and then lost. But so that's one. I don't think they were on their way to do anything. I think they're on their way to doing exactly what they did, which was get a preview of what was going to happen in round one. Now, that being said, you can't say it's never happened or it doesn't happen using a routine type thing like that, because the same way you said that Buffalo will be like the 20th offense. And I said, okay, well, tell me when Josh Allen has ever done that. It doesn't matter. He's going to do it. You can't do both. You can't tell me that Pittsburgh never does this, and it's not going to happen this year, but Josh Allen's going to all of a sudden be the 18th ranked quarterback when he's never been out of the top 10. And I'm just saying that. So choose one and then go the other way.
So nobody on this chat has ever learned what sarcasm is. Okay, I'm listening.
You're awesome. I'm good. Good deal, man. Anyway, no, it's all good. But yeah, what was Sean? I hope I gave you some time to count while I was yapping. I wanted to see what my overall record for Pittsburgh was.
Okay, so David has them at 9-8. Jeffrey, you have them at 9-8.
Ooh.
Eric has them at 13-4.
Hey, by the
And
way,
the funny thing was, Paoli called me today, and Paoli doesn't ever call me. He's just like, "What's going on tonight?" And I told him, and he goes, "Oh, I can't wait," because he was hoping KD would be on tonight. He's just like, "I know Eric's gonna have Pittsburgh at like 13-4 or 14-3," and I said I expected 17-0 or 15-2. So Paoli ends up winning the bet there. I'm not thong bet. There was no thong bet on this one.
That's
let me
13
be
and
very
4.
honest with my
I think
assessment.
honestly this is going to be the year I do think Rodgers is going to go out on a high note. He's going to have a
Oh,
career,
God.
and I think they're going to be. I think the schedule isn't that bad. It's not that bad.
No, it's not.
Eric, can I ask you a question though? And I'm not. Wait, let me ask, and then you
Sure.
can interrupt. I'm going to ask you.
Sure.
Do you think? Okay, so you're up, and in all honesty, your offensive line last year. What did you think of your offensive line last
So
year?
yeah, so I'm really glad they made the moves they made, right? Because Broderick Jones is a natural left tackle. Dan Moore
Okay.
gave up the most sacks in the NFL, and he was awful. And they got Troy Fatuno. Okay, he's Samoan, I guess. But I liked him at Washington. Okay,
Mhm.
and he was doing really good things before he got hurt. I do like him at right tackle. I think they've got some high pedigree tackles. And then I really like Zach Frazier in the middle. I think he's going to be a really, really, really all-pro center.
Okay.
And I think
But-
they're going to be all right. I
Okay,
mean,
so and that's cool. And now,
Yeah.
but let me ask you this because I think it's very important. I think it's
Sure.
one of the most unsung, most least talked about, but most fundamental things.
sure.
Last year, you had your offensive line, and they were blocking for who? They were blocking
Najee
for
Harris.
no, not running back. They were
Oh.
pass blocking for two mobile quarterbacks in Justin Fields and Russell Wilson.
Yep.
Now you're taking an offensive line that is going to be blocking for a guy who is going to be in the pocket and not going to be moving around outside of the pocket.
Sure.
So you are basically taking an offensive line that was geared to do one thing, and now they have to relearn and know their times, how long they have to block, how long they should hold their block, all those type of things. And I think that's very important, and that's one of those unsung things that is missed a lot of times. And like I said with KD, the signing of Ronnie Stanley was probably the most important re-signing for Baltimore, because if you had to bring in another left tackle that isn't used to blocking for a guy like Lamar Jackson, that all takes time, and that takes a certain skill set that you can't just go out and replace. And so that whole offensive line is going to take time to gel to block for a guy who's not mobile.
Okay, so finally, after you, I got you. But these are so the line is Jones is in year 3, Fatuno's in year 2, McCormick's in year 2, Frazier's in year 2, and Isaac, the guy they got from the Eagles, who's a decent
Samala.
Yeah, he's blocked for the Eagles and blocked for all kinds of different quarterbacks and a veteran. So they don't have learned. Okay, they had to adjust on the fly last year, and they don't have learned behaviors yet because they don't have the continuity that they had with Lamar Jackson. So, I mean, ideally, you're saying, well, they're going to have to retrain. They did it midseason because Russell Wilson was slow as fuck last year, and that was the problem. He started slowing down, and he was really slow as the year went on. The Cincinnati game at home at the end of the season, they probably win that game had he not been slow as fuck and tried to run over that defensive back instead of trying to get the ball out of bounds. Because remember, they got a first down, 1st and 10 at the 35. You got 55 seconds. And instead of trying to throw the ball away or try to get out of bounds, he puts his shoulder into a safety and 25 seconds gets off the clock. Okay.
He was slow in Denver 2 years prior, and I told you, but you were like, he's going to cook.
Well, I mean, when he first came in, he threw for almost 500 yards against Cincinnati. I mean, now granted, it was the same play over and over and over again.
Yeah,
he kept dumping it off.
Horrible defense. Hey, so here, real quick.
Yeah,
I'm I do got to run.
Me too.
You got 2 minutes.
I think your point was well taken. I think you answered David well. David, I think your question's well placed, and I think we'll see what that looks like. But what I wanted to say is I picked you at 9-8. That was not planned. I don't have I just called the games as they went, right? Unbiased, just picked them. But here's the deal. I believe wholeheartedly that's the floor. I don't believe that there's a 7 and 10 possibility. I don't believe there's an 8-9 possibility. I mean, there always is, but I don't believe that. I think what I picked is a 9-8. I was very unbiased, and I picked games, even the games that I picked that I think are close. I picked the other team and gave you the loss. But the reality is I think it could go the other way. So I don't see a 13-4 or 14-3 team, but I also don't see a 5-12 team. I see a team that could be 13-4. I mean, it could be. I think that's the ceiling. But 9-8 is the floor. So anything from there, it goes up. And I think I think maybe 5 or 6 we get to see who the Pittsburgh Steelers are going to be for the year. Last year we thought it was at 4-2, and then it changed.
Yeah, so if they start off hot and they get, like I said, they win 5 or 6 in a row, then yes. If they go 3-3 in the beginning, probably 9-8. I mean, that start is probably the most important part. But the key to the season, okay, is one, Dave's right, the offensive line, which I think is going to be better. They're young, and I think they've got some high pedigree, and I've always been high on them since I keep saying they're going to be good. They're going to be good. I've always been consistent with that. But I think the key, one, is the line, and two, the secondary, is how well will Ramsey, will the guy from Philadelphia, and how well will Porter Jr., how well will those guys mesh together? If those guys, if Darius Slay, if those guys mesh really well together, and like they're locking down people, and they're buying a TJ Watt an extra second or two, that's going to be really deadly, and that defense is going to be really good.
Yeah,
if they can buy the pass rush a second or two, it's going to be really good.
I think what's interesting, obviously, you talk about coverage sacks, which is cool, but I also think that I know they exist, right? But I also believe that pressure makes the secondary better, and I think that you have a team well stacked. The front seven are good and they can pressure. So I think that's where I think your secondary is good enough. I don't believe any of them are currently shut down anything, right? But I do believe that they're talented enough to get a step on someone, especially if a Watt or a Hayward or someone's putting the pressure. So, no, I think Pittsburgh has a good shot. They have a great defense. I mean, I still think Denver's is better, but anyway, that's my opinion.
Sure. Go ahead.
But hey, last thing I'm going to say, and then I'll give it to Sean to wrap it up. We're going to be sending out our invites for our fantasy football here shortly, our From the Couch League. We're going to have one league. So we are going to be sending out invites for that. If anybody would like to join, drop us a comment, let us know, because we're going to be doing that very shortly. We want to get that all set up, taken care of, and out of the way before the season starts. So go ahead, Sean.
All righty. So real quick, you guys did your first debate on Saturday, right? Has it been posted?
We did 4 of them.
Okay. So nothing's been posted.
Supposed to say that shit, stupid. But yeah, they will be posted in August. Not you, Sean. I'm talking about David.
I see. Okay, so we're posting. Okay. Great.
Yeah, we're gonna build up some stuff and then kind of start laying them out, so we're never behind.
All right, perfect.
Yep.
Well, with that being said, we thank you all for joining us, and we will see you next week from the couch.